Hey everyone, welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to take some of your supplies from your paper pumpkin kit and make a totally new, different card using the supplies that you already have at home. So we are going to be making this cute little greeting card today. I think it is so adorable. I absolutely love it. And most of these supplies are from the paper pumpkin kit. We are using, here, I'll just jump in and show you guys. So we are going to be using 4 things that are not included in the kit. So you're going to need your basic black archival ink. We're going to be using the Grateful Bunch stamp set, and we're also going to be using the coordinating punch, which I can never remember the name of. So it'll be linked in the coordinating blog post. All the supplies that you need are linked to over there. So we're going to be using these 2. And we're also going to be using the Banners Framelits dies. So those are the 4 things that you're going to need that were not included in your paper pumpkin kit. As far as the items that were in your paper pumpkin kit, oh, sorry, I lied. We're also going to be using a piece of Soft Sky cardstock, which is 8.5 by 5.5. So, for the items that were included in your paper pumpkin kit, we're going to be using the candy dots. We're going to be using one of these strips. So it was used as a belly band. We're going to be using one of those. We're going to use the craft and striped polka dotted card holder. We're also going to use one of the card bases. And this guy that was another card holder thing, we're going to be using this as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so to start off, I want to go ahead and cut all of our pieces down to the size that we need them to be. So for the this floral piece, what we're going to start off by doing is cutting off all of these flaps. I like to fold them first before I cut, just because it makes it easier to see where the flaps actually are. But all I'm going to do is just cut off all 4 of these flaps. We're not going to actually be using them in this project, but I would definitely say keep them and use them in any other project that you have. You could very simply take this same general concept of this card and use the little flower. Ooh, I just knocked that over. You could use the little flower, these little flaps to do the flowers that we're going to be putting. Okay, so my memory card was full, so I had to empty it, and then I was having issues getting it back. Anyways, I don't know what was recorded and what wasn't, but essentially all I did was cut the 4 little flaps off of our flower leafy piece. So I'm going to put these to the side. We're not going to use them in this project, but you could definitely use them in a project if you wanted to make this card, and instead of doing the flowers in this craft, you could definitely use this to do the flowers. There's tons of different possibilities. You can use those just kind of as scraps, all that kind of stuff. So while we have this piece, we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. I'm actually going to cut this end off. So 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and you're literally cutting slivers off. You're not cutting much off of the card at all, but we want to cut it down to that size. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to set that off to the side for just a second. Then we're going to come in with what was our card base in the paper pumpkin kit, and we're going to cut this down. This is actually going to be one of our layers. So we're going to cut this at 3 3/4. Set this off to the side by 5 inches, just like that. So now we have our 2 layers that are going to line up just perfectly, just like that. So we don't need our trimmer anymore. That's all we needed that for. And for this card, I like to go ahead and put the base and everything together first, and then kind of add the embellishments on top of that. So taking our blue speckled piece and what was our belly band, I am just going to take some adhesive and run this all the way down the back of our belly band piece, and we're going to take our little speckled guy and just put this down. I just like to kind of tap it in the middle, hold it up, and make sure that it's straight. And then if it's straight, I like to press it down after. And just fold our little tabs in the back. Just like that. While I have this flipped over, I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of it. Just like that. And then we'll center it up on our other piece that we just cut here. Just like that. Second? Yep. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my card base. Like I said, I like to kind of do all of this stuff first because our flowers and stuff are going to be, actually, do I want to do this? Yeah, we will. Our flowers and stuff are going to be put on with dimensionals, and you guys know how I don't like to put runner, what is it? What would you even use to describe this? Tape runner adhesive on the back of stuff that has dimensionals on it. Because I feel like I end up wasting a lot of my adhesive because I don't get a nice even strip. There's a little spot on that one, so we'll just flip it around and use this as the front of the card. And there we go, just like that. Okay, so now we can take this and set this off to the side for right now. And let's work on our little embellishments. So we have this piece that has craft, it's craft and then has these little cream dots on it. I'm going to take my basic black ink and we're going to be using the triple flower stamp. This stamp coordinates with the punch. And we're going to do this twice. So once right here. Ink this back up. And so you have these two bigger open areas. That's where you want to do it. I don't know, you might be able to finagle it and do it on this little tiny piece, but we only need 6 flowers, so I just did it on the bigger open pieces. Clean my stamp off as I go. And you know what, while we have our, oops, that's not what I meant to do. While we have our basic black ink out, I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side. I'm going to grab the other piece of the card base that we used here, that we already cut. I'm going to use this, flip it over to the white side, and just put this down just like that. We're going to end up cutting this out using one of the banner framelits, so you don't want it to be too close to the edge, but you can do it fairly close. Okay, so that is all of the stamping that we're going to be doing. Set that off to the side. This I'm going to set off to the side for right now as well. Whoops. All of my stuff's falling all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and take our punch and just line this up as best as I can from this angle. Punch out our little flowers and then move over and punch out, whoops, these flowers. Just like that. And you still have a ton of material here, so you could use it for a bunch of different things. You can cut out more flowers, you can do whatever. You still have tons of material there left. Okay, so now we're going to bring in, actually, you know what? I am doing this all out of order. This is not how I did my sample one. But you know what? We're just going to go with it, go with the flow. I'm going to move these out of the way so I don't lose them. Okay, first thing that I want to do is cut out our little sentiment. So we're going to use the second to the smallest fanner. I just said fanner. That is banner framelit, all as one word for those of you who are curious. And I'm just going to take this, I'm going to center it on here. And then just take a piece of washi. Put that down, lift this up, bring in my big shot, take this, do it like that, Run it through once, run it through twice, pull our little piece out. Let me just check. Yep, looks like we're good. And move this back over here. Okay. So we're going to take this, that can go off to the side, gently peel off our washi tape. Okay, so now we have our little sentiment, and now we can put everything together. So what I want to do is grab some dimensionals. I like to put the sentiment on first because I feel like that really gives you a good idea of how to where to put your flowers to make it look even and all that kind of stuff. And I'm having such a hard time getting these little getting the backings off of the dimensionals. Whew, that was really difficult. Okay, so I'm just going to put this right here up against this side right here. So right where our belly band is, we're going to put it right there, but I'm not going to put it directly on top or centered on top of the belly band. I'm going to put it a little bit higher so you can still see it underneath a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and take our flowers, and I like to just kind of place them down and kind of give myself an idea of where I kind of want them to be before I start gluing anything down, so I can make sure that everything is pleasing to the eye before I make it permanent. Yeah, I think I like that. So I'm going to use some dimensionals on a couple of these. This one I think I'll put a dimensional on. I think we'll do that one. Maybe this one. Whoops. That one right there. And I think we'll do a dimensional on the other medium-sized one. Just like so. Perfect. And now I'm just going to use my regular adhesive for the other three. And you don't need a ton of adhesive for this. You just need a little tiny bit. I actually like the petals and everything kind of sticking up. If you wanted to stick the whole thing down, put adhesive on the back of everything, you obviously could. That wouldn't be, I mean, you're not going to ruin the card in any way if you do that. But there is that. And we're almost done. And I like taking these little candy dots, and I'm just going to take 3 of them and put them at the bottom, just in a little line. It just gives a little something to the card. It kind of draws your eye diagonally through the card, which I personally like. And last one, just like that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this card. I love this card. I am not going to lie. I absolutely love it. And I love doing the paper pumpkin supply cards, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know even what to call it, like I said earlier. But I love taking the paper pumpkin supplies and using them in a different way. That's what I'm trying to say. I really, really, really love doing that. And I can honestly say this is probably my favorite card that I've done that with so far. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye!